It's your friendly neighborhood laser lady, and today I want to share with you what is probably going to be my most controversial video. And not only is this thing you might be doing my biggest pet peeve, but it might literally be inhibiting your ability to sell your laser cut goods. So let's just dive right into it. Okay, here's an example. Imagine you are craving a pizza. All day long you've dreamt of hot cheese and pepperoni. You get off work and decide you're going to that pizza convention to find the very best pizza to shove in your face hole. You walk in that convention center and are greeted by 3 booths. The first one has bougie ingredients on top of their stone fire cooked crusts. The second one has your basic saucy, pepperoni-filled garlicky zaws. And the third one has some raw dough stacked on the table with unopened packages of ingredients strewn about. Seeing your disappointed look, they tell you they can make you any kind of pizza you want and shove a card in your hand. Now, which pizza do you choose? Now, obviously, we don't make pizza. We make things with lasers, like this decoration I'm engraving right here. It's got a cat on it, and I freaking love that. Let me ask you this. Now that it's done engraving, is it ready to sell? Would you buy that? Sure, I'll put a hang hook on the backside, but does this look done? What about this one? Is this done? How about now? Do you think I could sell this just like it is? Or do you think I'll be able to sell it like this? One more. Is this one done? Or is it done now? Hey, your style might be completely different from mine, and that's fine. Maybe you wouldn't buy any of these, but I really hope you are understanding my point here. For the love of laser lady, finish your laser projects. Now, I get some of you probably don't finish your products on purpose because you're selling crafty items. But let me tell you, if you sell wall hangings or decorations and things like that, people are not likely to want to buy a raw wood sign that they need to stain or paint. Some people might be into it, but I guarantee 95% are not. There's a reason why there's no shops out there that just sell raw pizza dough, except for Papa Murphy's. I don't know how they're still around. That place is crazy to me. Okay, now it's time for half of you to leave angry comments in the comment section. Don't worry, I can handle it. Now let's go over some super easy and cheap and quick ways you can finish up your laser cut and engraved wood products so you can charge a whole lot more for your awesome merch. Tip number 1, use fancy woods. Now you might be thinking that's a really expensive tip, but luckily for us, there are real wood laminated MDF core laserable sheets for us to use. I like this multi-pack from Craft Closet. You've heard me talk about them a lot because I literally buy from them a lot. And as always, use code LASERLADY to save 10%. After I sanded down this piece, it is ready for some spray can varnish. Easy, cheap stuff you can get pretty much anywhere. It makes the pieces shine, unless you get a matte finish, and it really pops out the amazing wood grain patterns. Tip number 2 is to stain or paint your projects. If you're not staining your wood pieces because you live in an apartment or just don't want to deal with the fumes, then let me introduce you to this water-based, low-odor, non-toxic wood stain. It doesn't stink at all, and it dries evenly and quickly. Be sure to sand the blowback resin off your piece first and get some color on there. I do all my staining at my kitchen table on a piece of cardboard. I'll even mix in those cheap acrylic craft paints to tint the stain. Once it's dry, we have a lot of options. One thing I like to do is sand the piece again. This helps lighten up the wood around where the engravings took in the stain. I also lean toward a distressed look for my pieces personally. If that is not your style, then skip it. Or try out staining the piece with a dark color, sanding it, and then going over it again with a lighter color for a two-tone look. If you're worried about your customers wishing a piece was in a different color, make more for them to choose from. I'm making these video game life bars in 3 different colors. The design will really pop in the next tip. Tip number 3, add layers. If you've made any laser cut signs before, you have probably dealt with layers. For this snake piece, I made an outline and cut it out of plain MDF. I spray painted it with black spray paint, and that just soaks right in. Once my top layer was dry and sanded, I just glued them together with some Elmer's extra strong glue all. It's similar to a wood glue, which would also work wonderfully. Once everything was dry, I went over the whole thing again with that clear varnish spray paint, and now it's nearly done. It just needs a hook on the back, and voila! For the gamer life bars, I used mirrored acrylic for the hearts. They have quite a bright pop of color. If you want to know the best glues to use with mirror acrylic, I'll link the whole video of that up in the corner and down in the description box. Now we're getting fancy. Speaking of fancy, tip number 4, fancy up the back side. Now that we have the front of our projects looking nice and nice, we mustn't forget the back side. Obviously, we are going to put a hang hook on there, but for some of these, I like to step it up a notch with felt. Felt is cheap, super fast to laser cut, and adds a very fancy element in my humble opinion. There are some felts that have a sticky side already on them, which is convenient, but this felt I have to glue on manually. And what is that opening for in the felt? Why, my sticker-backed, laser-engraved, personalized logo tag, of course. This material is just literally real wood veneer on 3M sticker-back paper. It is thin. One sheet could make oodles of these tags. It is very fancy and, best of all, extremely professional looking. Show your customers you are not trying to pawn off your rough drafts. Take care with your laser works and you will gain a massive following. Believe me, you will teach people your style and they will hunt you down at every craft show you go to. Believe it or not, you're an artist now. So stop trying to sell your finger paintings and start selling your very own masterworks. If you want to learn more about laser engraving that wood veneer sheet, check out this video or level up your laser knowledge with this entire playlist. And as always, happy crafting!